Welcome to a session conducted by Discensys. Imagine your father wants to sell a piece of land. Instead of carrying paper documents, everything is now digital. The banking, the shopping, the government, the healthcare, and all the services. How do we know this digital document hasn't been secretly modified? We don't. Every digital service we use depends on one invisible assumption. We trust someone else. When you check your bank balance, do you verify it yourself or do you simply trust the bank? We trust the bank. Yes, exactly. But what if the organization we trust no longer exists? Today, digital trust is entirely outsourced. The government, the banks, the big tech companies, and many more. Our property document is stored by a government office. Everyone trusts it. Why? Because the government maintains it. What happens if the central authority is hacked, corrupted, or unavailable? Removing the central authority creates another danger again. Everything depends on one central point. If it fails, such as database corruption, insider attack, or data manipulation, or single point of failure, or anything it might be, that is leading to failure. Suppose the government database storing my property records crashes. Who owns the land now? Nobody knows. Imagine your college keeps all student marks in one laptop. The laptop crashes. What happens? So, humanity looked for a completely different architecture. The architectural shift from middleman to the math. Let's actually understand what is a blockchain here. And before trying to understand the blockchain, let's compare the architectural shift from centralized trust to the decentralized trust. The centralized trust, which is actually a traditional way, right? And the decentralized trust is actually somewhere almost related or almost is a blockchain. In the traditional one, that is centralized trust, one authority stores one master copy. But coming to the decentralized trust, thousands of computers store identical copies. Instead of one register office storing a property document, every authorized participant stores the same record. Now, can one person secretly change thousands of identical notebooks? No, exactly. But what exactly is stored inside one blockchain record? Here, you could see the block layers presented from the transaction to the timestamp to the previous block reference to the hash. Suppose our property transfer becomes one block. Inside the block includes buyer, seller, time, previous ownership, digital fingerprint, like a sealed file folder. Everything required to prove ownership is stored together. Now, let's connect many such blocks. The mechanical logic of the chain, that is connecting all of them. From block A till the block C through the block B. Every block remembers the fingerprint of the previous block. Suppose our property document enters block A and future ownership transfers become block B, block C, block D. Can we secretly remove block B without affecting the chain? No, absolutely. Because every block depends on the previous one. Imagine a train, removing one compartment breaks the entire connection. But what exactly is this fingerprint? The ruthless math of the digital fingerprint. Now you can see the message hello and its hash. Once you change the letter somewhere like changing capital O to the small o, then it produces a completely different hash. Suppose hacker changes the owner from Ananya to the Rahul. They are again personalities being imagined, right? Entire fingerprint changes. Suppose a human fingerprint. Two people cannot share identical fingerprints. Every block has a unique mathematical identity. Blockchain doesn't detect changes by reading every word. It simply compares fingerprints. Can a hacker rewrite thousands of blocks? Now, why cheating is mathematically very much impossible? Let's walk through the attack. In the step 1, attacker changes one block. In the step 2, fingerprint changes. In the step 3, entire chain breaks. And in the step 4, network completely rejects it. Suppose our hacker edits the property owner. Immediately, all future fingerprints become invalid, and every other participant says, this copy doesn't match ours, right? So, should everyone accept one incorrect notebook when 10,000 correct copies exist? No. Now, who decides which copy is correct? Consensus. Verification by the crowd. Now you can see the blocks connected like a network. No single authority decides, thousands of computers verify together. Instead of asking one registrar, we ask thousands of witnesses. Majority agrees and ownership is accepted. Now you could imagine this like a class attendance. If 40 students say Rahul attended and one says he did not, whom do we trust? Many people now confuse blockchain with the Bitcoin, and let's try to understand or seek perfection from that. The great misconception: blockchain is not equal to Bitcoin. Let's compare. You could see in the image email and internet the way they are connected, as well the Bitcoin and the blockchain. Email uses the internet, but email is not the internet. Similarly, Bitcoin uses blockchain. Bitcoin is not blockchain. Can the internet exist without Gmail? Yes. Same idea with the Bitcoin and the blockchain. Then where else can blockchain be used? You could see in the healthcare, in the banking, in the identity, in the education, in the supply chain, in the voting, right? Our property document isn't the only thing needing trust. Every industry stores important records. Blockchain provides a common trust layer, which is easier to forge. Just try to identify paper certificate or thousands of blockchain copies. Can blockchain automatically execute agreements? Right. Here comes the smart contracts. The code as law. Now you could see the image, the trigger that is packet scanned, and execution, the funds being released. It is actually like a workflow from the trigger, that is verification, to the execution, and then finally settles, that is settlement. Suppose property payment arrives, no lawyer required. Smart contract automatically confirms payment, transfers ownership, updates records. It's like a money machine. Insert money, machine automatically gives product, no shopkeeper needed. This change society sorry, this changes society itself. Now you could see the relentless evolution of disintermediation from the internet to the websites to the cloud, and then comes the blockchain. Every technological revolution removes one middleman. Earlier the registrar and now the code, right? Would you rather wait 15 days for document verification or just some 15 seconds? Right? So blockchain alone still is not enough. Artificial intelligence is powerful, but it is not trust. AI generates content, decisions, predictions. Can AI prove that information is genuine? No. AI creates intelligence. Blockchain creates trust. Neither replaces the other. AI prepares our property agreement. Blockchain guarantees nobody can secretly modify it. Now, let's combine both. The autonomous digital economy. You could see the infinity loop presented here. The AI making decisions and blockchain verifies the trust. Smart contracts execute the agreements. Our property document has completed its journey. AI helped in drafting the agreement, verified documents, detecting fraud. And the blockchain now has protected ownership, verified authenticity, and recorded history. The smart contract automatically transferred ownership. Throughout today's session, we followed one digital property document. We discovered that AI can make intelligent decisions, but intelligence alone is not enough. Blockchain contributes something equally important, the trust. Together, AI becomes the brain, blockchain becomes the memory, and smart contracts become the hands that execute decisions. This combination forms the foundation of tomorrow's digital economy.